Donald Trump appeared yesterday in an interview with his own former campaign manager, Corey Lewandowski, on Newsmax. Corey Lewandowski now hosts a show on Newsmax, apparently. It's all very weird. It's all this sort of incestuous revolving door of working on campaigns and working in administrations and working in media. It's not just on the right, but it's particularly notable when it comes to MAGA. And Corey Lewandowski asks what to a normal person would be a pretty interesting question if they were able to answer it in an honest way, which is, how have you been preparing for the debate? And Trump basically says he's not preparing and that his entire life has been a preparation for this debate.
And the real question is, what have you been doing to prepare for the debate?
I think I've been preparing for it for my whole life, if you want to know the truth. And I'm not sure you can lock yourself into a room for 2 weeks or 1 week or 2 days and really learn what you have to know. And I've been
certainly not if you don't plan to know anything.
Through it. I've been, a popular president. We had some great elections and some amazing, number of votes. Nobody got more than we got. And
Trump is preparing by having received votes in a previous election. Great strategy.
I know the subject. Now, they may get cute because it's obviously at CNN, and I call it fake news for a long time. We'll see how they do it. I think they have a lot at stake, to be fair. I think they have to be fair. But we'll see how we do.
I do find it funny that Trump says that having been a popular president is part of the way that he prepared. But there's actually a lot in there, because what he's essentially saying is he's riding on reputation. And it's true. He doesn't need to prepare on the substance because the substance doesn't matter. He'll just lie or not know or insult his opponent. So I do not expect any deep policy knowledge from Donald Trump tomorrow night. I will be watching with great interest, but not because I'm curious about Donald Trump's latest tax plan. But that is his preparation. Notably and hilariously, during portions of this interview on Newsmax, a hilarious disclaimer appeared at the bottom of the screen that read, quote, "Please note, Newsmax accepts the 2020 election results as legal and final." When you can't even put Trump on TV without a legal disclaimer so you don't get sued, it's a sign this may not be the truth-telling candidate that is good for your party, but we will see. Trump, at another point of the interview, he got confused and referred to governors. I actually really like this one.
Not allow these people to stay as our governors because they have done such a bad job. Not allow.
The governors have really done a terrible job.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat
Will repeat dupe. At another point in the interview, Trump strangely going silent, and it wasn't clear whether he expected Corey Lewandowski to play a clip or whether Trump walked away from the phone. I don't know, but a very awkward moment on Newsmax.
Made some recommendations that maybe Joe Biden has to have a drug test before this debate. You've made some great remarks, and let me just remind our viewers kind of what you've said and what your take is on it.
Yeah.
Oh, sir, I think you said that Joe might need a shot to stay up for the debate. I hear that he's practicing standing for 90 minutes is his debate prep. A little different, I think, than what you're used to at some of the rallies you've participated in recently.
Well, if I have to practice standing, we have ourselves a big problem. No, I had heard that, too. He's practicing how to stand or something. Standing.
There you go. So I do think that Corey Lewandowski was unclear when he said, "We will remind the audience what it is you previously said." And then maybe the most statistically jarring moment of the interview came when Corey Lewandowski brought up the topic of immigration, I think, or Trump just brought it up himself, and used some very surprising numbers about the number of migrants who die trying to cross the border.
But we lose think of it, hundreds of thousands of people are dying at our border, coming through our border every year because of our border.
They're coming through the border because of our border. But Trump said that we are losing hundreds of thousands of people at the border. And that is very much not true. Since 1994, okay, so 30 years, since 1994, 10,000 people have died trying to cross. It's still terrible. It's tragic. It's a horrifying, senseless loss of life. But it is not hundreds of thousands of people dying at our border per year. It's more like 333 per year. Still terrible, right? I mean, no doubt about it. We still care about those 333, but not hundreds of thousands. So Trump explaining his debate prep on Newsmax. And then we really got, by the end of the day yesterday, 48 hours before tomorrow night's debate, we got to the fever pitch epitome of the Biden is on something, and it has to do with soft drinks. Let's talk about that. The weather is warming up. We're outside more. Maybe we're trying to get in shape for summer. If you're in need of a science-based, no BS workout program that's easy to follow and will give you results you feel good about, look no further than our sponsor, Alpha Progression. Alpha Progression was recognized not once, but twice as Apple's App of the Day. It's just a great value. It has an easy to use interface. It's totally customizable based on your needs. And it has a 4.9 star rating in both Apple and Google app stores from tens of thousands of reviews. Alpha Progression is the app for anyone looking to maximize muscle gain. That's their only focus, but it's designed to be perfect for both novices and seasoned lifters alike. Every workout plan is built from scratch just for you personally and catered to your individual goals. Alpha Progression was carefully designed over many years by veteran bodybuilders to give you the same principles and the tailored advice that you'd get from a personal trainer who charges 30 times more with the same results at a fraction of the price. We're partnering with Alpha Progression to give you 20% off your first year when you sign up for annual, or 20% off your first month if you sign up for monthly. Go to alphaprogression.com/Pacman. The link is in the description.